Got the nerve off.
Yes, hello everyone, and welcome to another exciting episode of PAS Professional Amazon Seller Podcast. And today we have a wonderful guest and a partner to us, PAS Professional Amazon Services, Austin, a co-founder of ZipString. Uh, I know that name will ring a bell to many of you, and as soon as Austin start talking about what the ZipString is and probably will show one to all of you, you will recognize instantly. It's an innovative, exciting toy and game. And Austin, I'm not going to take your thunder, so please introduce yourself more thoroughly and tell everyone what is the ZipString.
Thanks. Not happy to be here. We started ZipString 4 years ago, but maybe I should just do a quick demo real quick. For
Yes.
those who don't know what ZipString is, I got a little short string right here. It's a small handheld device, and when you pop a string in like this and press this button, my blur screen is going to kind of mess this up. It
Here you go.
flies a loop of string in the air and emulates all of your movements. And what's so fun is kids and adults come with all different tricks. You can do corkscrews, you can use the longer strings, do step through it, you can do the bow and arrow, and the tricks are quite endless. And what's so fun for me and my co-founder Steven is every week we get new tricks submitted every day with the zip string from our community of zipsters, things that we did not even know were possible with the zip string. And so that's zip string. We started a little over 4 years ago. Started with my co-founder Steven. It was a Georgia Tech electrical engineering project. Um, he was inspired by this benchtop physics demonstration machine on YouTube that was spinning a loop of string, and Steven had the idea of making it smaller and handheld, which allows you to manipulate the string, then do tricks with it. And I later met with Steven. I loved it. We came up with a new prototype together. Uh, I told Steven, hey, what we have here is amazing. Don't share this with anyone. We got to develop it, make it better. He couldn't help himself and posted it on his TikTok projects page. And within 4 hours, the video had over 20 million views on TikTok. That same night, it was on the front page of Reddit, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, just sent a ripple through the internet. So we rolled up our sleeves, got to work. We launched a Kickstarter less than a month after. We got to work with Dude Perfect and a bunch of big YouTube influencers. We uh, built the first 4,000 zip strings by hand in my parents' basement. Never want to do that again. OSHA would not approve. But we made it through. Later found ourselves on Shark Tank live with Kelly and Mark. We've launched new products since, and this last December we shipped our millionth unit of ZipString. And so wouldn't have been able to do that without Ruben and Poss right here. So
So many questions that I want to go through that. And yeah, you push the button and magic happens. That's the easiest way to describe it. And with the some of the new string innovation that the team came up that illuminates and it basically does the color magic of mixing two colors and creating a third one. It's I think it's a it's a technique that painters use, right? I'm so far, so I'm sorry for if
yeah,
that I sound kind of silly, but yeah, and I don't remember, but you gotta help me here. How fast those motors spin? How fast it's incredible number, right?
I mean the motors are spinning at tens of thousands of RPM, but the string is spinning at 35 miles per hour.
Wow,
And
imagine that. That's
yeah,
what happens. And yeah, we we have one. I think we have two actually at home, and my two kids would not really give turns to each other with that. And yeah, so the community. I think the community. I want to start from there. You mentioned it. It's such a big essence of a zip string. Uh, and one of the things that they come in and support is one of like a new tricks, right? Like I've seen it so much in the social media. Like you have no shortage of your own tricks, and one of the things that keeps me constantly, excited and on the edge while working with you. First, it's your general innovation. You don't really like, oh, we have this great product, we build it, that's it, right? I know there are new things coming. I know there are new things will come. And also, but that's just the technical side of it. You're also always into, hey, what the new trick we can come up. So it's like the fun part. It's this technical part, and then also fun part of creativity that constantly working. So, is there anything within the community that you found it helpful when you built that, and how it supported ZipSpring?
Um, so just so I'm clear on understanding, what your question was, how do
The
we
question
build,
is
how,
overall community and how community, like their reflection of a zip string and how they help with come up with a new maybe innovative products if they make any suggestions or you see something or even with their new the tricks that they do with the with the zip string.
yeah, and in a lot of our videos, in a lot of our videos at the end, we'll just say, if you have a new trick, uh, name it, record it, and send it to tricks@zipstring.com, and you can get the chance to be featured on the tricks page or in our socials, and it kind of just started with that, where we just had an invitation, a call to action, at the end of like our how-to video, how to load a string video, and over time, it just kind of started to build this community of tricks and coming up with different things. So now, multiple times a week we get submissions from
Yeah,
kids or adults around the
that's
world
exactly what
of
I'm talking about. So the
yeah,
community is kind of an also part of the the driving mission for the ZipString, right? Coming up with the new tricks, coming up maybe new fun products with that, or new innovation to be attached. So yeah, and kind of a lesson with that. Yeah, the one of the biggest thing that brands can miss out is that building that community. You can come up with the products, but without an the strong community understanding and you as a brand owner connecting with that community, it's it will take you far beyond that what you can imagine when that connection happens, and that's kind of what I was trying to put together, and thank you for clearing that up. My other question on your first introduction would be the Shark Tank experience. There are companies who want to go to Shark Tank. Can I We're talking about the Shark Tank. So there are so many companies right now about to go to the Shark Tank, or they are, and I'm going to make this transition because we're in a kind of an Amazon overall conversation that are have Amazon accounts that going to air. Give us a little bit an overall that experience, maybe not too much into the Shark Tank experience itself, but how Shark Tank affected the Amazon and what sellers can expect themselves, when seeing that, and we're expecting that coming on. And some of our friends we work with, they have been through that. So I have my first-hand experience, but from the brand owner perspective, if you can share a few things for our listeners.
totally. So just to give everyone kind of a sense of timeline in our business when Shark Tank happened. So we started ZipString, and Steven built that first one in January 21. I met with Steven in August 21. We launched our Kickstarter in September of 21, and it was just a year later that we filmed and then went on Shark Tank. And we filmed on my birthday, September 8th, 2022, and then it aired December 9th, 2022. So it was still kind of early on in our ZipString
Learning.
journey,
Yeah.
right? And believe it or not, at that time we weren't even on Amazon yet. Um, Big mistake.
Yeah.
Uh, Big mistake. We launched on Amazon just a few months after we Shark Tank aired, and so we had about 10,000 pieces of ZipString when Shark Tank aired December 9th, 2022. We sold out of those within the first 5 minutes of airing on Shark Tank. There were over 200,000 people on our website that night. And then it was just amassed thousands and thousands of pre-orders. But Shark Tank, we had a rerun of the episode after we launched on Amazon, and it was a huge spike on
Mm.
Amazon. It was incredible, and same thing with the following reruns. And so, Shark Tank has been incredible for our brand. It's the Shark Tank brand itself is legitimizing and very popular, and so I totally recommend it for any business to get the opportunity to go on Shark Tank. It's really it's only been
Yeah.
positive for us.
And a couple of things to kind of fill it up there. For those who are in that situation or generally curious, so the Shark Tank has that uh, presence that transitions from even from the first air. ZipString was not there. Kind of even rerun itself generated huge buzz. The search volumes just go there. So the first advice is if you are in, and here's a really great parallel I'm going to bring up. There is this episode that I saw the other day of a guy who invented an very good and innovative way how to hook the weightlifting belts. There's like these clips that go to make sure that your uh, weights will not fall. And I Clip Snap, I think that's what the company name. Look it up. And as soon as I saw it, my first thing was going on Amazon, and I couldn't find them.
I couldn't find it.
And I know what was the reason behind it, why not have it, but it is it. You may have all the reasons not to go to Amazon, but and I'm not saying this to advocate anything for Amazon, but by not being there, you are going to miss out. You are going to miss out. So I guess the overall lesson will be here. If you have some conservations about not going to Amazon, find the ways to fix them, find the solutions, and be there because there are ways you can do that. And whatever the reasons are, like, hey, I don't want to go to Amazon for XYZ reasons, find a solution and be there because you will most likely miss out on significant amount of sales. And one of the worst things that someone else may take that position off of you. And that is what I want to make kind of another transition. Now we went from to the Amazon. So the popularity also has its costs. So I know there are some copycats who came in. So first, give it your like. Do you know that you always wanted to be Amazon, or it was like it's a logical transition? What was that thinking behind it? Yeah, just tell us about that kind of a shift.
Totally. Yeah, well, I think we always wanted to do Amazon, but at the beginning, we had so limited time. We were just focused on fulfilling our Kickstarter orders and just kind of getting up and running that Amazon wasn't a priority for us. But it was always on our radar and we wanted to do it. And so we eventually got to doing it around the beginning of 2023. And yeah, we quickly learned that there was a lot of missed sales that we were driving, that people were searching up ZipString on Amazon and not finding it. And eventually, we had knockoffs and copycat products that popped up, and I'm sure they just bought a knockoff product on,
That
instead of buying ours. So yeah, I totally second what you're saying, Ruben. It's you know, just get a presence on Amazon, even if your brand is more focused someplace else. Just you know you're just missing out on a lot of sales.
Yeah, and that is one of the unwanted challenges that you can face, right? If you do not have these super patents that will cover your product from every angle, even if you do, a lot of cases we see that when a product become viral, product become popular, there are going to be copycats. So it is better for you to be there first to handle it before everyone else comes in. You're going to have a lot more leverage to tackle those than rather if you go on the back end of it and when these copycats are there, maybe not the direct but similar. So for
Yeah,
sellers, and like you heard it from a brand owner himself, not to sound this because we're a service provider, we're kind of an advocating, it is just strategically very important. You can't really avoid Amazon. It's a behemoth. It's there now.
yeah, and I'll add this. In 2023, we sued 1,135 entities from from
You heard that
China
number. You heard that number.
across 7,000 listings. Um, Majority of those were on Amazon. Some were like Walmart Marketplace and AliExpress. But that was all for trademark and copyright. And we've seen everything from pictures of myself on packaging, to the people using the name, ZipString and on their packaging and instruction manuals and so uh yeah, the copycats are gonna come. You build a great product, and we have all the patents, too. And even with patents, you got to
Yeah.
enforce them, and we do that, and it's expensive, but it's
Yeah.
part of the game.
And it takes time and it takes sales.
It takes a long time.
Yeah, it is. It is definitely advantageous to be ahead of that game, and I have that conversations a lot. Even we're talking about a Shark thing, but I'll bring another example. Even in the toy fair when we were like when earlier this month, I talk about the brands that like, hey, we're about to blow up, we're about to get the distribution deals and such. I'm like, if you're not in Amazon, you better do that because even, here's another reason. As soon as you get into the distribution, as soon as your product grows, there will be people, if they're not copied, they will buy your product and resell on Amazon. Now, one day you're going to come back and like, hey, this is my product. Someone else sells it. And there is that demand, and there's even potentially negative reviews because of a mismanagement. And that is another lost opportunity. Yes, it's not the copycats, but even your own product under your own brand. When it becomes big, when it grows, you're going to see that. So, owning that, even if you're not going to invest in it in a marketing standpoint, but build your pages, build your storefront, build your listings. When I'm searching for it, I can find it. It's going to be very, very important. Then you can utilize it however you want it, if you want to invest in that channel or not. But
And I would add, another reason. Now we have really great distribution. You can find a ZipString in a Walmart, a Target, a Barnes and Noble, Hobby Lobby, and hundreds of independent retailers around the country. But um, I don't think we didn't have a good, track record or proof of success, both at our own .com and Amazon business, it'd be hard to get those distribution deals, And so I think it's important to, you got to build that. If I think it's a lot harder these days to go, invent a product, build it and go straight to retail. I think it's a lot easier to,
oh my
get a
gosh,
whole track
such a
record
good
and then
point.
go to
Yeah.
retail.
Such a great point. I actually had a whole article reading about it after seeing those experiences, and you kind of got one question ahead of me, but I'll cover on that because it's a great topic. Probably more than ever now we see brands being built in Amazon and transition to retail than the vice versa. When before it was the retail then, but Amazon allows you and gives you that platform to build and make, and retailers look into that. They do look on your sales, they look on your reviews. Where better to understand how good is your product by checking out your Amazon reviews and how well you do there. That is an almost instant recognition, and the rest it's different. I don't want to get into the due diligence process, how retail works. It's not the topic, but be assured that the retailers will look at that and your success. Like, imagine if you're trying to bridge into a retail and they go to an Amazon and see your product being offered by third-party sellers, your average review tanked at 3.5. What are your chances to be picked up? Much less. Now think about it the same way they go and they find tons of copycats of you because you didn't take care of it. Now they'll see that it's a potential threat to your product to be in a retail shelves. So this is another great angle to look into that when if you're considering Amazon or not. Thank you. It's absolutely right on point with that. Um, Another question that I had again, just continuing the Amazon topic. What were the biggest challenges, at least early on? Like when you made the Amazon, you mentioned the copycats. Were that the only one, or there were other things? Again, I want to bring the like a more light to everything, right? Not all the greats, but all the difficulties that Amazon also can throw your way. So aside from a copycat standpoint, what other challenges you've seen when you kind of moved into the Amazon world?
So when we first kind of started to get things up and running ourselves, and that was just it was a little complicated and a little too time intensive. So we started working with an Amazon agency, not Ruben's agency, another one, and that helped us get off our feet, get set up, um, and we performed. well, but after some time, it started to feel that, we were kind of getting lost in this agency's work. And so uh and so things just started to, balls are kind of getting dropped, and miscommunications were happening. And so we started looking for a different Amazon agency. I never wanted to do it myself because I want to be focused on our product development and other parts of the business. I need someone that knows Amazon, the back end, the front end, better than myself.
Yeah.
Um, and so eventually I was introduced to Ruben, and we started with Ruben and Paz the beginning of 24, I believe. Yep, beginning of
Yeah. Yeah.
24
January 20.
and
Exactly.
January 24, and it's been phenomenal. Yeah, I it just feels that I just love the feeling with Paz, and just that where everything's being really looked after, and I feel like I don't have to worry at all, or be pressing at all.
Yeah, well, thank you, and I'll give you a little bit more details for everyone to kind of understanding how so when working together, and I asked this specifically challenges, and Austin brought up kind of an our relationship has been more so we are in this together type of thing. So we share that across the board, whether it's challenges thrown by Amazon, whether it's an internal challenges, whether it's an external Amazon like out of stock challenges. Right, we had a big one. We had such a big unexpected success during the Q4 that it followed up with a kind of a downside from out of stock, but being able to handle that, very operatively between us, that did not really present itself as an overall issue and challenge. I think it's been great. I know that feeling of working together, minimize that feelings of various challenges that Amazon threw at us, and there was like plenty. Right, mentioned a copycat, like remember the
Yeah,
creatives that were not getting approved for stupid reasons. Then all of that can kind of build up. So I do like. If you ask me, my biggest one will be the inventory one. And again, this was not specifically, let's say, an Amazon channel, but as an agency, isn't that as an service provider? No, I hate that agency world. But as a service provider, it's like, hey, why would I care? We did our job. We helped to sell. It's out of stock. It's kind of an ostis. But no, it was like, hey, what are we doing to mitigate this? Slowing the sales down, cutting the ads, and all of that's like working together, like checking every day what's going on to make sure that everything that's my biggest from a 2024 slash moving to 2025 that I remember as kind of a sticked out to me. But just to give you an idea, guys, Amazon and this relationship we do, it's not one-sided, it's two-sided. And you've heard that being said by others on this same old podcast. Like, we do what we do and we're great at what we do because we're seeing that reciprocate from the brand owners, and that's the chemistry that works the best. You said it. We are the expert on Amazon. It's not like I want to hand it. Austin and Steven and their hand they handling the other side of it, and that's the best way that it works. Can we handle everything? Yes, we can. But as a founder of a company, if you're deciding to make that kind of a decision to hire someone, remember that you can't really give everything and just like, hey, thinking that it's that synergy of working together, it's the one that makes all the benefits to to grow and become bigger. The explosions happen if you want to be interpreted that way. And that's what we've seen across the board. That's why, again, I like all these good things to hear, but without you and without a brand, it would just simply not be possible. And your help with what you do. So I want to return that good things back to you. I think you've been amazing in this journey with us working, and that's the only reason we are able to be as good as we are. It wouldn't work otherwise. And the last question will be, what kind of an advice you can share and give for the brands considering launching on Amazon, or even hiring an service provider on the side if they do not have their own team. And because I know from many calls that I go on and meet with these brands, the concern is real. Some of them been burned, some of them just distrust the industry generally. So first, what your advice will be for those who want to launch on Amazon, and then second, what you will give them to do before they hire the agency.
I would just make sure your supply chain is really, you know, set up and streamlined really well. I mean, maybe I'd suggest that before Amazon, but I also see it, just get on Amazon and then figure it out as you go. I think that there's some truth to that as well. Like just get on, open up a listing and start optimizing and just, and you'll figure things out as you go. Don't wait. But you do definitely want to get your um get everything streamlined and humming because there's nothing painful than being out of stock on Amazon.
Yeah, and yeah, I think we had one of these. I think with an Easy Bombs, another brand we work with. It resonates so good. You may not think about it right now. You would think, hey, there's so many other challenges I have to deal with, but wait until that hits you. So I'll simplify it. Out of stock is something there, but I want to piggyback on something that Austin just mentioned here: streamlining. So build that and know how you are going to be most efficient within all types of operations, including your inventory, not to go out of stock. It's great advice. Like, there are probably not a worse thing. What we were discussing before coming on this call, me being out of stock on my products is struggling. And I'm here talking about this, and I'm the one, well, okay, granted, it's not really you're going to run into the factory issues, or like you, the custom issues, but have those things planned. It's going to come handy and going to come back to you, in many many times fold. So it's uh, it's very important. And if there's any words for people who are looking into hiring someone from side, what are the things they need to look for? If you have any few words on that.
I'd uh I'd really, talk with a lot of other brands. Learn from their experience, see who they use in terms of for an Amazon service, and make those connections. I think, you know, reference calls are the best thing you can do. Ask that, you know, that service for a reference call. Let me talk to one of your other clients. Hear it straight from them. I think it's one of the best things you can do.
Great advice, and it's one of the things that I do on during my pitches. Right, everyone talked. I said every single partner I work with, and I said I am one of those guys that I will be happily give them their information and let them know, hey, talk to them. I can speak whatever I say, but if you feel like speaking to anyone from the list that I will provide, the full list that I will provide, feel free. And it's great advice. Like, that first-hand experiences for other brands probably will not beat anything. And it's not to say that because it worked for one, it will still work for you. You still need to do it, but at least you have a general understanding of a work ethic of someone that is already working with someone else. Every brand is different. Every brand perspective and goals are different. So that will be something that will vary. But at least speaking with someone as a reference and understanding the service provider, at least work ethics, will be a great way to kind of a kickstart that. So it's great advice, like I said again. So Austin, this was it. This was it for today. I'm sure we'll see each other again. Thank you for much. Thank you very much for sharing your wisdom. Thank you very much for sharing the ZipString journey. And I can't even imagine how far the brand will go. And I'm only looking forward to that, and looking forward to working continuously together.
Thanks, Ruben. Good to be here.
All right. Thank you.